Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel, the Intellect Zone. So this is the 8th or rather the last chapter of our O-Level Computer Science lecture series. In order to get a better understanding about our O-Level Computer Science lecture series, make sure to go and watch the O-Level Computer Science introduction video that we have uploaded in our YouTube channel. So without any more further delays, let's hop into the 8th chapter. So the 8th chapter is named Security and Ethics. In this chapter, we will be going through major concepts that surround the topic computer ethics. The diagram shows all the topics that we will be going through in this video. Let us start off this discussion with the topic, hacking. Hacking is the act of gaining illegal access to a computer system. Hacking can lead to illegally gaining personal information about someone or something. Data can be deleted, changed, and corrupted via hacking. Moreover, there are various prevention methods for hacking. Setting up a firewall, use of strong passwords and anti-hacking softwares are some prevention methods of this topic. Encrypting data is not a method of prevention when it comes to hacking. We will be going through the topic encryption in a while. Now let us go talk about cracking. Cracking is a malicious act where someone edits a program source code. This is an illegal action since it is a malicious act. The next topic is viruses. A virus is a program or program code that can replicate itself with the intention of deleting or corrupting files, or cause the computer to malfunction. We can prevent viruses by installing an antivirus software, by preventing the use of sources from unknown softwares, and finally by preventing the opening of emails and attachments from unknown senders. Backing up files is not a method of prevention of viruses. Well, this is a general idea about viruses. The next topic is phishing. Phishing is a process where a creator sends out a legitimate-looking email to a user or rather a recipient. As soon as the recipient clicks on a link in the email or attachment, the user is sent to a fake website. The creator of the email can gain personal data of the recipient. Due to this, phishing is subjected to privacy. Moreover, phishing can be prevented by simply preventing the opening of emails and attachments from unknown senders. This is a thorough explanation about phishing. The next topic is farming. Farming is a process in which a malicious code is installed on a user's hard drive or on the web server. This malicious code will redirect the user to a fake website. The creator of the malicious code can gain personal data of the user. Due to this, farming is subjected to privacy. Moreover, farming can be prevented by using anti-spyware software. Now let us talk about war driving and spyware. War driving is the act of locating and using internet connections illegally. War driving can be prevented simply by using firewalls and passwords. Spyware, however, is a software that gathers information by monitoring key presses on a user's keyboard. Spyware can be prevented by using anti-spyware softwares and also by using drop boxes instead of keyboards. Well, this is a general idea about war driving and spyware. Now let us talk about cookies. A cookie is a packet of information sent by a web server to a web browser. A cookie is simply a piece of data. Cookies carry out user tracking and also maintains user preferences. They can't perform any sort of operations. The information gathered by cookies forms an anonymous user profile and does not contain personal information. However, they are subject to privacy and security concerns. Well, this is a general idea about this topic. Let us now talk about loss and corruption of data. Data can be lost or corrupted in 4 ways. Accidental maloperation, hardware malfunction, software malfunction, and incorrect computer operation are the 4 ways that data can be lost or corrupted. Now let us go through firewalls and proxy servers. Firewalls sit between the user's computer and an external network, and filters information going in and out of the computer. Firewalls can either be software or hardware. Moreover, firewalls examines traffic between the user's computer and a public network and also checks whether incoming and outgoing data meets a given set of criteria. The main striking point of firewalls is that they help to prevent viruses and hackers entering the user's computer. Well, this is a general idea about firewalls. Moreover, firewalls are similar to proxy servers. A proxy server acts as an intermediary between the user and a web server. They filter network traffic just like firewalls. Well, this is a general idea about both the firewall and the proxy server. Now let us go through security protocols and their types. A security protocol is a set of rules used by computers to communicate with each other across a network. There are two types of security protocols: SSL and TSL. Let us now talk about each one of them. SSL is used to encrypt data when a user logs onto a website. A user can figure out whether SSL is being applied by simply checking out whether the padlock sign or HTTP is present in the status bar. Well, this is a general idea about SSL. TLS, however, is an advanced and similar version of SSL. TLS is a protocol that ensures the security and privacy of data between devices and users when communicating over the internet. Moreover, TLS has been designed to provide encryption, authentication, and data integrity in a more effective way than SSL. TLS, however, is separated into two forms: the record protocol and the handshake protocol. The record protocol is a part of encryption which can be used with or without encryption. The handshake protocol permits the website and the client to authenticate each other. This is a simple definition about these two forms. Moreover, TLS requires a large time frame to open. In order to avoid these large time frames, session caching is used. TLS makes use of session caching to improve the overall performance as well. However, all these points help us to obtain a thorough understanding about TLS. Let us now give our attention towards the topic, encryption. Encryption is used to protect data in case it has been hacked. Encryption simply makes data meaningless, but this does not prevent an unauthorized user from hacking into a system. Furthermore, encryption is divided onto two categories: symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. Let us now talk about each one of them. Symmetric encryption is a secret key which can be a combination of characters. It is made up of two keys. One key is needed to encrypt a message and another key is needed to decrypt the message. Both the sender and receiver have the same encryption and decryption key. Asymmetric encryption is a more secure method than symmetric encryption. This form of encryption makes use of a public key and a private key to encrypt and decrypt a message. Public key is made available to everybody. Private key is known only by the computer user. The encrypted keys are generated by using a hashing algorithm. A hashing algorithm is different to an encrypted algorithm. A hashing algorithm makes the message's own key impossible to read if it is somehow intercepted by a hacker. Well, this is a thorough understanding about the two forms of encryption. Encryption, however, makes use of two forms of text formats. Plain text and ciphertext are the two formats. Plain text is the original message before it goes through an encryption algorithm. Ciphertext is the output message from an encryption algorithm. Well, this is a simple understanding about these two formats. Now let us talk about authentication. Authentication is used to verify whether data comes from a trusted source. Authentication works with encryption to strengthen internet security. Authentication methods include passwords, digital signatures, biometrics, and many more. This is a general idea about authentication. Now let us talk about DOS attacks. A denial of service or a DOS attack is an attempt at preventing users from accessing part of a network. One method of this attack is to flood the network with useless traffic. As a result of these attacks, the attacker might be able to prevent a user from accessing the internet, online services, and many more. So now let us talk about how a DOS attack is performed. When a user types in or clicks on a URL of a website, a request is sent to the internet server which contains the website or web page. The server can only handle a certain number of requests, so if it becomes overloaded by an attacker sending out thousands of requests, it won't be able to service the user's legitimate request. This is how a DOS attack is performed. Moreover, by setting up anti-malware softwares, firewalls, and email filters, a user can prevent these types of attacks. A user can figure out whether the user is dealing with a DOS attack by checking whether its computer system is suffering with various symptoms. Slow network problems, large amount of spam emails, and inability to access certain websites are some of these symptoms which showcases signs of being a victim of a DOS attack. Well, this is a general understanding about these types of attacks. Now let us focus on the topics: free software, freeware, and shareware. Let us start off with free software. A free software is a software which is not subjected to copyright laws. Users who use the free version of this software are provided with freedom to carry out many operations within the software. Freeware, however, is subjected to copyright laws and also does not allow a user to study or modify the source code. User can download the software from the internet free of charge. Let us now go through the last topic of this chapter, which is shareware. Shareware is a software which is fully protected by copyright laws. These type of softwares provide a trial period, free of charge, for the user to test the product they are offering. Often, the trial version of the software is missing some features of the full version. At the end of the trial period, the author of the software will request the user to pay a fee if the user would like to continue using the software, which contains all the features unlike before. Well, this is a basic idea about shareware. So we have successfully ended up the last chapter of our O-Level Computer Science lecture series. Within our O-Level Computer Science lecture series, we were able to discuss all the chapters and topics which were required to be discussed. If you want to download all the notes that we discussed in this lecture series, free of charge, make sure to check out our website. The link is there down below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay tuned and enjoy your presence in this intellectual zone.